is people ask me what it's like opening day week. It's feel like a parent. You're 3 days before Christmas. You're excited to watch the kids tear open the presents under the tree. That's kind of the same feeling, just the anticipation of something awesome. And we just feel like our training has been great. The preparation couldn't have gone any better, and we're ready. The hay is in the barn, and it's just time to start playing and really having some fun out on this field.
When last you visited everyone, I think your outfield was still, maybe there was some question marks there. You kind of settled into that and what the lineup's going to look like early on.
Yeah, so there's 8 guys in the outfield that could all start on any given day. We had a couple of nicks and bumps and bruises last week. Collision, a sprained ankle. Will Taylor's still trying to get to 100%. So I think that's the one area of the field where we'll see the most moving pieces, if you will. And not because we're not set on it, but just because we have a lot of very good and capable outfielders that need reps. So some of it will be just guys getting back to 100%, and some of it is just trying to, as we figure out what the best 9 guys are, giving some guys some opportunities. And said this before, we feel like we've got very good depth on this team on the pitching side and on the position player side. Those are good problems to have. So we not only have some older returning players on this team that have credentials either in this program or in college baseball, we've got some young guys that need to get opportunities as well, so they can continue to develop and they can help us win for sure.
Who was involved in the collision?
That was Nate Hall and Tristan Becerra, but that one did not affect Tristan Becerra. Nate was out a couple days last week, but he's actually fine now. Tyler Corbett sprained his ankle, and Will Taylor's still coming back, but I think I fully anticipate those guys will be able to participate in some capacity this weekend.
Did Will suffer some kind of setback, or is he just sort of?
No, I think this is just the return to play protocol from our medical team. Yeah, it's not an exact science. There's some days are better than others, but when he's been healthy out there and making highlight reel web gem catches, it's been fun to watch. But I think just still building up to that consistency of being able to go 100% each day is not quite there yet, but when he is out there, he's very dynamic and explosive.
What will your rotation look like this weekend?
So all of these roles we're going to actually talk to our team about first. We haven't, my philosophy is we'll get everyone in the classroom. I'll do a PowerPoint and put everyone's role on the board so there's zero ambiguity and everybody knows going into the opening weekend what their role is, and I haven't done that yet. That'll take place either today or tomorrow in our class, probably tomorrow in our classroom setting. So I think just looking at a guy like Ryan Hammonds, moving him from the closer role to a starting role, we didn't move him to that role to start on Tuesdays. Like his makeup, his character, his toughness, his work ethic, his leadership, that's the type of guy you want setting the tone every single weekend. So I would expect that you're going to see him on Friday. But we have the pitching staff this year where we don't need our starters to go 7 or 8 innings. We've just got enough depth where we may not need that guy to go through the lineup that 3rd time or the 4th time. And there's just a lot of really good pitchers. Coach Bellinger has just done a phenomenal job of getting all these guys to attack the strike zone. It's like embedded in their daily regimen of the best pitchers and best pitching staffs consistently pound the strike zone. And it's always known that about him, just playing his teams on the other side, but now seeing how he reinforces it on a daily basis, it's really good.
Last season, the weekend starters, there's a lot of fluidity there. Do you expect that to be the case this year, or 2 or 3 guys kind of separated themselves a little bit, aside from Ryan?
Yeah, I'd say there's probably 5, 6, or 7, depending You know, guys that we are looking at in that starter role, and you know, philosophically, again, you know, a guy like Tristan Smith very easily could start from a physical ability standpoint, but philosophically, just never really put freshmen into that role opening weekend. You know, we didn't do that with David Price at Vanderbilt, but if you were to say to me, hey, I bet Tristan Smith is going to be a weekend starter by the end of the year, middle of the year, I'd say, yeah, I could see that. But we've got a lot of veteran pitchers that, you know, they've always had the stuff from the neck down. They've had good arms, good fastballs, good breaking balls, and now it's, you know, just harnessing that stuff and being able to command it like they want to. And so they've made a lot of strides in that department. So hopefully we won't have, you know, that fluidity, but it's college baseball and those types of things happen at times. But I've been very impressed with our overall pitching staff.
So you're not naming an opening day starter, but you dropped a pretty big hint that it could be Mr. Ramos.
Yeah.
Okay. When did that conversion to making him a starter begin? In the fall, or once you evaluated things after the fall?
I think we just started discussing it in the summer. Just looking at, you know, Ryan is one of our most talented pitchers, and just wanting to have him impact the game consistently as much as he possibly can. And we all know that a closer is a very important role, but there's times where, you know, you have such a big lead you don't need to get to the closer, or whatever the case may be. So just getting one of our best arms to have that consistency of knowing that you know, that he's out there week in and week out in the same role, and he's really taken to it. The routine is different for getting ready to pitch. You know, before it's like, hey, go get hot, you're in 5 minutes, you know, and now he's got the full starters routine. But I think his mentality is the same. And the mentality is he's going to go out there and close the first inning, and then he's going to go out and close the second inning, and then the third, and do that as many times as he can. I think that's the right mindset, because that's one of his biggest strengths.
With Caden Grice, local guy, obviously had a standout freshman season. The production was a little bit down last year. What conversations did you have with Caden this offseason, and where do you think his mindset is heading into this year?
I think he's in a great spot right now. Caden, as we all know, he's an incredible physical specimen. If you were going to draw, you know, a left-handed power hitter, that's the body and the frame and the athleticism. You draw up, he can run as well. So I think getting him back over to first base, having a super athlete over there, big target, and keeping him engaged in the defense is going to be helpful for his offense. But offensively, he's really bought in this entire year of just making better plate decisions and understanding that he doesn't have to do too much to really impact the ball. He's one of the few guys in this country that can miss-hit a home run. And so sometimes when guys like that, they try to overswing and overdo it, and things, you know, the consistency and the quality of the contact can go down. But he's really bought into that, of just being super selective, and then he's really bought into the two-strike approach and just putting the barrel on it. Some of the most impressive at-bats I've seen this year in the fall and the preseason have been him with 2 strikes, of just simplifying, putting the bat on the ball. And it's amazing with a guy like that, with those long levers and that body strength. You know, sometimes less is more, and he's impacted the ball really, really hard with that 2-strike approach. So he's been awesome. You know, you always hope that the upperclassmen are receptive to making adjustments and new things, and all of these guys have been. So I'm excited for Caden and the type of season that he's capable of having.